My name's Chris.
I'm Rob, and I'm the drummer.
That's right, I'm the bassist. We're half of Enter Shikari in Madrid. I mean, we're very confident going into it, really, because we just felt completely relaxed with the team we had around us, Dan Weller and Tim Morris, the guys helping us produce the album. So we were very comfortable and felt very fearless to try and experiment with all kinds of new things. So there's a lot more instrumentation in the album. It's got some of the most delicate parts we've ever written, but again, some of the heaviest parts we've ever written. Yeah, I think people will just be surprised. Hopefully.
Yeah, well, I was gonna. We don't really know what to expect from the reaction from the audience. We've released 2 tracks so far, and that's gone down. They've gone down really well. I think with our album, it's quite. I want to get myself heard. It's a very diverse album, so not any one of the songs can represent the album as a whole. So when we released these first 2 tracks, it still doesn't sort of explain, you know, I think people are still going to be surprised when they hear the rest of the album and hear how diverse it is. So we're wait to find out how it is when it drops in January. Very excited, I think. I think we're going to be happily surprised.
Yeah, again, it's different from a flash flood of colour. It's further. I mean, with this album, we really wanted to show, you know, within the album, we wanted to demonstrate each different type of sound or emotion or genre that Enter Shikari can do, and we wanted to get that all in the album. So as Rob says, it's just really very, very diverse. And we focused on a lot of instrumentation and textures. You try not to chomp.
Try to be quiet.
Look, there you go. Out the way. Well, let's not be silly now.
Well, actually, only just this morning we released like a sneak preview of quite a few of the tracks. It's, was it like a minute-long video we just put out on YouTube with tiny little clips of a whole bunch of songs from it, just sort of prick teasing people. And then we're gonna release some other. Well, I don't think we can announce that yet. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll definitely
will be released, but you'll have to wait and find out. It's impossible not to change or mature. You know, we're now 3 years older as people from the last time we released an album. Obviously, there's been a whole load of new music released that we've listened to since the release of the last album. So it would be impossible to take on so much sort of inspiration and not have our creative outputs change. You're not even listening. You're looking on Facebook or Twitter or something on your phone. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, to be honest, every time we've come here, we've had a great time. So we're hoping it'll kind of be the same. I mean, yeah, all we ever look for is just like an intensity and what's the word I'm looking for?
Enthusiasm?
Yeah, just enthusiasm, because when we see that, it makes us really, really passionate and makes it all worthwhile. And yeah, and to be honest, we haven't played in quite a while, so we're going to be really up for it tonight, and hopefully the crowd will be too.
I don't know, who knows?
Depends how our knees and backs hold up.
Yeah, I guess. We're getting old now, nearly 30. 10 years time, we'll be pushing 40.
The Christmas jumper's out already. Yeah.
Who knows? You know, one of us have got a kid now.
Yeah.
So we've no idea what we're going to be doing in 10 years, to be honest.
Hopefully, if we can still be writing exciting music and things like that, we'd still be really happy.
We might have slowed it down. Some quiet dinner jazz or something. You know, by that point, we don't. Well, we can't. We're not as young as we used to be. We can't do this rock and roll stuff anymore.
We certainly didn't expect it to happen. No. I mean, we always say that this band is a hobby that got out of control. Yeah, I mean, definitely when we started the band, you know, we never really looked more than a year ahead, really. It's always just been take each show as it comes and things like that, really. So we certainly never expected to even get out of the country when we were starting up the band, you know, but these things gradually started happening, and we just always liked to jump at the opportunities when they came. It was our mums. They believed in us.
We're pretty much the only people. There was a time when we were first starting writing demos, and we'd send out a lot of demos to record labels, and no one would ever get back to us. It became a bit of a joke that we'd put a name of a record label on the guest list, and obviously they'd never turn up. And so we started sort of getting let down so much by that we had to put out our own stuff and push ourselves out there and believe in ourselves. And then it was only sort of until the time where we were making such an impact on the underground scene that the industry couldn't ignore us anymore, and they had to sort of start taking note of us. And since then, we've met a lot of people in the industry that have really believed in us and been behind us the whole way. And there's been a lot of fans that have been incredibly supportive. You know, we've got a lot of fans from the very first release that we've ever, before we even released our first album, you know, fans that would come to loads of shows, and we still see at the shows 11 years going on 12 years later. So we've got a lot of people backing us, and it's great.
Yeah, there's many places we haven't been. I don't think there's ever been a place we haven't wanted to go to be honest. If, you know, we get offered a gig somewhere, we'd quite happily go. South America is probably the main place we've never been that we'd really like to get to. It could be anything, really. I don't know if we really had any influences back then that we were specifically, you know, looking to use as influences. I think it just comes from everywhere, and we've always been very open to take influences from wherever, and I think that comes out in our music. So yeah, we're still not afraid to do that. So yeah, I guess it just comes from everywhere. It means enter the hunter. I mean, when you go, remember, it was a long time ago that we chose that name, and at the time, Shikari, you know, we liked the mystery behind the word. We also liked what it meant, you know, go out and get things for yourself. And yeah, at the time we were going through a very atmospheric kind of stage, and it really just stuck, and it was something we're still happy with. And
it's a bit of a mystery. I think it's really open to interpretation, a lot of it. The idea is kind of like scanning your brain and the way that you think and turning it over and constantly progressing ourselves and the way we're thinking and the way we interpreting the world. I mean, it's basically just sort of trying to think of a way to encompass all of the feelings and the emotions and the kind of subject matters of the album, and we felt that that was one of the best lyrics from the album that in sort of we thought rounded up the album nicely and would represent it well, and so that's why we chose it. Take part in politics. Yeah, I think everyone should. If everyone took part in how their societies were run, if everyone sort of had their say, then I think it would be much better democracies than the ones that we see, or the jokes that we see masquerading as democracies around the world, especially our home country. I get surprised that not more bands sing about the kind of subjects that matter to everyone in the world. Like there is so much going on in the world at the moment, yet so much of it seems self-absorbed and consumed by crying about their ex-girlfriend or something. Which surprises me, to be honest, when I think we're in a sort of historically in a very pinnacle point for our species, and we're things are changing constantly every day around us, and we reflect that through our music, and I'm surprised that not more bands do it. First, I've always thought about this. First thing I would do would be to make all higher education free.
Yeah, I mean, there's something going on in England, which is what the song "Anaesthetist" is about, which is the dismantling of and the privatisation of the National Health Service. So I guess we'd definitely put a stop to that. We want to keep the health service free for the citizens. I don't know, how long is a piece of string, really? Like, there's a lot of changes need making. I mean, one thing is that the capitalist system seems to be a link to a lot of problems, whether it be, the fact that we put profit above so many other things, whether it be our environment, or, the welfare, the well-being of our citizens and things like that. So any kind of changes to I think once you take out capitalism out of the system, you're going to see a lot of other problems start to fade. Well, I mean, we love writing music and we love playing our music live, so it's never an effort for us to really get up in the morning and do this. For us, it's all about writing exciting music that we find exciting. And as well, our band has always been about unity, about bringing people together, and about spreading a message. It was such a perfect answer that it was just the same.
I can't top that. This guy.